So remember that time I went on the internet and I said that I thought the male loneliness epidemic was in fact evolution?
If the male loneliness epidemic is a real thing, then that means evolution is working the way it's supposed to work.
Fuck a male loneliness epidemic. I've been dating this man for 3 weeks.
It's comedic, but it's not, right?
I want to be the man in the relationship.
They don't want you. They don't want you. You actually have to be likable to find someone.
This is brilliant. And it's so true.
All right. Where do I even start? Male loneliness is something pretty much every guy will go through at some point in his life, and probably way more intensely than most women could ever wrap their heads around. That feeling of being completely invisible, having few or zero real friends you can open up to about your struggles. If you stop texting first and vanish from social media for a week, how many people do you think would actually check in on you? This is just the reality of being a guy. Culturally, women are seen as the focus of desire, while men are under pressure to prove their worth. So if women are the ones being chased, and men have to build their value, it's only natural that women get way more attention from people. The problem is, when guys started opening up about their struggles, hoping for some understanding, what they got instead was judgment.
Men would rather be alone than to evolve and change, than to recognize, wait, maybe I had it wrong. Maybe there's something I need to change. If you can't get a woman because none of them want to be with you, maybe try and figure out why. There is no male loneliness epidemic. It is a loser epidemic.
Male loser epidemic. What used to be guys trying to express a bit of the loneliness they felt suddenly turned them into complete losers.
It's not that they're lonely, they're just weak. Guys in their 20s with no stable job, still living at home, no girlfriend, playing video games. Obviously, they're failures and deserve to be lonely.
In reality, this is just a symptom of a much bigger problem than it seems. But where does this idea that today's guys are weak even come from?
Your grandpa moved out at 18, bought a house at 20, supported 5 kids by 25, and you?
In 1970, a house cost about twice the average annual income. Today, it can cost 8 to 10 times more. Money used to go away further, but this unfair comparison isn't random. It serves a very specific purpose. Insecure guys are easier to manipulate. When you feel inadequate and like a failure, you buy more stuff to try to fill that void, and you're way more likely to fall into addictions. You work longer hours for less pay. You don't question the system because you're convinced you're the problem. It's convenient to have a generation of guys who feel like failures. Men desperate for external validation are perfect consumers. They're obedient employees. They're citizens who don't ask questions.
God damn it, an entire generation pumping gas, waiting tables, slaves with white collars. Advertising has us chasing cars and clothes, working jobs we hate so we can buy shit we don't need. We're the middle children of history, man. No purpose or place. We have no Great War, no Great Depression. Our Great War is a spiritual war. Our Great Depression is our lives.
Keeping guys feeling weak is literally stacking the deck against the masculine instinct to be strong and provide security for a family. No wonder women, on some subconscious level, look for that in a partner. Throughout history, humans have adapted over and over. Men who could protect their partner from a wild animal attack or another tribe's raid were the ones chosen to pass on their genes. Today, we don't need to hunt animals or throw punches to protect our family, but that deep, unconscious need for security still lingers in women's minds. Having a strong body signals security. Having financial stability means you can hold it together if something goes wrong, plus provide a home and food. Having self-confidence means you can be an emotional rock for a woman who's already navigating a roller coaster of emotions. This might be the most important point because a woman's nature, her hormonal cycle, is already an emotional whirlwind. Without even thinking about it, she's drawn to someone who can be her emotional anchor. This is one reason so many women are drawn to bad boys. It's not what they want, but it happens because their subconscious mistakes that coldness, aloofness, or detachment for confidence, independence, and self-worth. Those guys aren't playing a game by being jerks, they just are that way, and it triggers the same emotional switches that a truly grounded, independent guy would. For guys, attraction is like a light switch. We can see a woman on the street and instantly feel something, or see someone we think is hot but feel nothing until we talk and connect, and then we start to catch feelings. For women, attraction is like a volume knob. Every action or emotion you spark in her turns it up or down. Believe it or not, this whole attraction thing is totally tied to this so-called weak men epidemic. Once you understand how the game works, you can play it however you want.
What do you think women want in men?
exactly the opposite of what they're saying they want right now.
Here's the deal. Attraction isn't rational for us or for women. How many times have you seen a drop-dead gorgeous woman with a guy who at first glance seems like nothing special? He's not good looking, maybe a bit chubby, doesn't have much money, but maybe he's funny as hell. Maybe he can't buy a BMW right now, but he works hard, pays his bills, takes her out in an Uber, and one day, if things go right, he'll get that BMW. The problem starts when guys and women try to overthink what they think they want in a partner. That creates this fake idea that there's only one ideal type, and anything less just won't cut it. In the end, it feels like the goal is to keep everyone divided, like it's a war between the sexes. And the more divided we are, the easier it is to manipulate both sides, each blaming the other, while the real cause hides in the system itself.
Honestly, there seems to be a culture of women saying, you know, I want this absolutely perfect Prince Charming who dotes on me all the time and is super emotional and is constantly updating me on his feelings. And then they show their boyfriend and it's like this masculine provider, protector who is, you know, constantly there for you but handles problems. So I think that's what women actually want and what they gravitate towards, but what comes out of the mouth can be a little different. I think men, I don't know if you've noticed, but they're a lot more feminine these days, at least here in LA where I live, a lot of very feminine men. But I think women typically look for an amount of masculinity that usurps their own. So whatever that might be for you.
The world keeps feeding us lies wrapped in half-truths. Take the infamous 3 6s rule, a checklist that's basically impossible for most young adults. 6 figures, 6-pack, 6 feet, and there's another 6 in there. You know what I'm talking about. Honestly, I don't know if a guy or a woman started spreading this, but come on. Do you really think a girl who's into you is gonna slam on the brakes because you're 5'10" instead of 6 feet? I've never met a woman who mid-conversation pulled out a tape measure or asked to see my bank statement. The problem is, people take everything we said about female attraction and act like a guy needs to be perfect, loaded with cash, shredded, and tall, to even think about getting a girlfriend. It's like brainwashing, making guys believe they don't deserve to date or have someone great because, according to women, they're not up to their standards. So now we've got more and more young guys feeling like failures because everything society calls success is getting harder and harder to achieve. After a stressful day at work, the only spark of dopamine might legit be a video game to escape life's problems. Now imagine this on a global scale, because this is happening everywhere. Most of the time, a guy won't even talk about this stuff with his buddies because they're in the same boat. That thing I said about going a week without texting your friends first to see who reaches out, I've done it. And it hit me later that I wasn't the only one going through this lonely phase. They were all dealing with the same thing. Everyone's got work stress and personal issues to handle. A man's life is lonelier. Women might feel alone even surrounded by people because they don't have anyone they trust. But a man, he feels alone when there's literally no one to talk to. And we're back to that point where guys feel like total failures because we're in an era of endless comparison. There's always someone better out there. Feeling empty and alone is becoming normal. That sense of not being enough is creeping up on everyone, not just men. Videos like "My Life as a Loser" are popping up more and more. By the way, in one of those videos, a comment really stuck with me. 41 years old, never married, no kids, 0 family. If I'm not working, I sit by myself. Life is sad. If you're watching this and that's you, I'm so sorry you're going through that and feeling down. But here's the good news. No matter your age, you can find a purpose, a reason to get up early every day. First things first, you're not behind on anything. Everyone's got their own unique journey. You're not worse than anyone else just because you're starting something new and you're not great at it yet. If life's like a highway at night, you don't need to see the whole road to know you're heading the right way. You just need your headlights showing you the next step. You'll get there. To make sure you're on the right path, I've got a list of missions for you to tackle. Leveling up like an anime protagonist. I've broken down our skill tree into 3 core pillars: mind, body, and purpose. All 3 need to grow together. You won't get far if you dump all your points into one skill like it's Dark Souls and you're maxing out strength. In life, you can and should focus on all 3. To level up your mind, you've got to master your headspace. Start by learning to do things on your own without relying on others. Embrace that solitude to get to know yourself. Want to do something? Go solo. Don't wait for friends. Want to hit the movies? Go solo. Grab a coffee or a snack? Go solo. Enjoy your own company. Read at least 5 pages of a book a day. I'm into philosophy and personal growth, but if you want to start with fiction to build the habit, go for it. Learn to take criticism without without making it personal. I don't know how old you are or what you do, but we get paid to help and serve people. No matter the job, it's only worth something because people pay for it. In the workplace, you'll get criticism and praise. Learn to filter both and don't take either to heart. If someone praises your work, awesome. It means you're on the right track. But don't let it go to your head or think your work's perfect. There's always someone out there with something to say, and that's normal. You don't know what's behind their criticism. Maybe they're just having a bad day. Maybe they didn't mean it to tear you down. Don't complain. If you're going through a rough patch, feel free to vent in this video's comments. But in real life, most people don't care about your problems. The sooner you get that, the better. Don't be that guy who's always dumping new problems on people when you talk. Learn to say no. If you don't want to do something for someone, just don't. If you don't want to go somewhere, don't go. Put yourself first. Every time you say yes to someone else, you're saying no to yourself. Learn to hear no. You've probably been, or will be, rejected by a girl you really like. Your resume might get passed over by a company you wanted to work for. When these moments hit, don't take it personally. You don't need to overanalyze why they said no. In both cases, just look for the silver lining and use it as feedback to level up. For the body pillar, take care of yourself. Your body's your temple. You can't have the latest software if your hardware is falling apart. Hit some kind of strength training at least 5 times a week. Calisthenics, weights, whatever. Do cardio at least 3 times a week. Could be a light walk, running, biking, anything to boost your stamina. Drink tons of water. Keep a bottle nearby to stay on top of it. Take care of your appearance. Get regular haircuts. Find a style that suits your face. Ask people for opinions. Talk to your barber about what works and stick to a schedule. For me, weekly cuts don't make sense since my hair's not that short, but every 2 weeks feels right. Take care of your skin. Got a lot of acne? See a dermatologist if you can. Can't afford it? Wash your face twice a day with a proper facial cleanser. Follow up with a moisturizer and finish with sunscreen, even if you're staying inside. Eat well and cut back on processed junk as much as you can. You don't need a super strict diet. Just eat healthy, get a solid amount of protein and veggies, and your body will thank you. And finally, purpose. Just start something. Pick up a new skill. Maybe paid ads, video editing, copywriting, e-commerce, coding, whatever. Keep trying things until you find your passion, something you can see yourself doing for a long time. You don't have to commit to it forever. Just test the waters. I started out selling products as an affiliate online, then moved to creating my own digital products. That meant learning video editing, which I ended up loving and making money from. Your gut will guide you to what feels right. The secret is just to start. On loneliness, it's a natural process. The sooner you learn to enjoy your own company and embrace it, the faster you'll attract others into your life because you're already whole. If you're a young adult, just chill, man. Your 20s to 30s are for building your future. Time's on your side. Focus on your purpose and have ambition. You're not a failure for not having money or a girlfriend. If a woman comes along, and she probably will, take a good look at whether she's someone of value and worth your investment. But above all, keep your purpose as your top priority. Forget chasing women. Kissing and sex are easy to come by. Don't get caught up in lust. The best investment is always in yourself. Level up every day like an anime character.